Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, Senator Rick Brattin, the 31st Senatorial District, bringing forth Senate Bill 1617. So this has to do with the new provision that was passed at the federal level, having to do with degrees and how the taxpayers subsidize degree programs that don't meet cut the mustard, I guess, so to speak, on whether or not they really truly live up to the promises and expectations that these students have been sold. So the federal government passed, it's called the Federal Earnings Test, and it's a real simple test. So basically what it does is it will be a 3-year process, 3 consecutive years, and it has to meet 2 of the consecutive years, to where an undergrad degree has to, within that prospective job market, make more money than someone that actually just has a high school diploma in that career field. And if they don't make more money, $1 more than the guy that just has a high school diploma versus the one that just went and spent $39,000 a year or for their student loan debt on that degree, then it doesn't qualify to be subsidized for government subsidies for those loans. To me, this is common sense. I mean, if we're sending our youth, and there's almost $2 trillion in student loan in America today. I mean, just let that sink in, how much student loan debt that we're riddling students with these degrees. And then when they get out in the real world, they think that they're set up for success, when in reality, they didn't even have to go to school, and they could have been making more money than they actually are with a degree, and riddled with $39,000 per year in student loan debt, basically the size of a mortgage on their back. I think it's a huge disservice. So what this does is for those degrees that make less, and for those that are graduate degrees, if they're not making more than the bachelor degree that's in that same degree field, they would not qualify. So it's just honestly, I mean, I hate to say that the federal government actually did something right and actually did a good policy, but I think this is a really good policy. I know, believe me, it pains me to say this out loud, I promise. But I think it is a good program, that it's a good way, weights and measures to ensure that whatever we're subsidizing and investing money in is one that's going to actually pay off dividends for these students that are getting these loan programs. So that's the gist of the bill. I know there's more testimony that will kind of more get in the weeds of this program, but that's the gist of what this would do. Now the fiscal note, I will hit on the fiscal note, because it is a savings, and it's almost a savings, an indictment, of these degree programs that are being, so the savings would be, first year, $14 million in savings. The second year, they're seeing $25 million in savings. Now, if you think that the average debt for a student is $39,000. So the first year, that's 363 students that would potentially be saved from this riddled debt. And the second year, 645 students that we potentially help save them from making a very costly mistake and going down the wrong career path that does nothing for them in a degree path. So just, I don't always agree with the fiscal note, but I at least wanted to point that out, of like what this really, the real true tangible savings this could be having for students. Again, when we're knocking on the door of $2 trillion of student loan debt. So be happy to answer any questions. Again, we have professional testimony here as well.